Hello everyone, welcome to what I'm calling for now MSTCX. And I'm also optimistically calling this episode 1. But I am recording this live on September 27th, 2015. And before we get on with the show, I have prepared a brief slideshow for you, a brief PowerPoint presentation, which I'm sure you will enjoy. Always good when you're into games to watch a PowerPoint presentation first. That's my motto. Anyway, on with the show here. So here is the survey that many of you were kind enough to respond to and make nominations for. And here are the results of that survey. So you can already see what I'm going to be playing tonight, which is Atari 2600's E.T. the Extraterrestrial. And I expect a lot of you picked this game because it's been sort of deemed the worst game of all time, or the game which killed video games in the early 80s, and so on. So we'll see how right you are on that. Before preparing for this, I hadn't really played a lot of E.T. back in the day. I did have it for Atari 2600, and I still have it. But we'll see how that goes. So 35.3% to Atari, E.T. the Extraterrestrial. And I just want to comment briefly that there was a lot of nominations on here for those first generation games, E.T. and Magic Carousel and Crystal Castles and Kool-Aid Man. You don't really, I kind of appreciate that. Sort of the retro thing has been done a lot on the NES generation of games, NES, Genesis, and whatnot. And so it's good to see some love for the old school systems there. Coming in second place is Battletoads for NES, which I suspect you guys picked because, not because it's a bad game, but because it's a very difficult game and you want to watch me fail. Better luck next time. This will appear on the next survey, assuming this ever happens again. So you'll have your chance to vote for Battletoads some more. Kool-Aid Man, which I misspelled on the survey, I apologize for that, but it got 0% of the votes. There were no votes at all. And this is a game for Atari 2600 that I don't think was for sale in any retail game stores. You had to actually save up your proofs of purchase and send away for it. And I've never played this game before either. I briefly fired it up just to see what it was like, and it is tremendously boring. Let me just tell you that. So I'm kind of glad I didn't get any votes, and in fact I'm going to drop it from the poll for the next game that I play, just because it just looks so boring. I don't want to play for a whole hour. And one other interesting candidate that made the list, this is Magic Carousel for Intellivision. This is an unreleased game. I don't think it was ever officially published. There are prototypes out there, or I don't know, promo copies or whatever. They're available on eBay at the time of this, looking at $40 to $80 for one copy of this. And I looked into this game. I played it a little bit, and it actually looks pretty good for 1982. I mean, it's a game that's designed for young kids, toddlers, and so on. But it uses the voice synthesizer to great effect. I mean, it sounds super creepy to us now, but back then it had to sound like magic. And you have to identify the animals and do other things with colors and numbers and shapes and whatnot. So this one stays on the list. I actually would look forward to trying this out for an hour. I just want to address briefly, this was a Twitter conversation about my choice to use emulation versus the actual hardware. I just want to defend myself a little bit on this, is that I have some reasons I want to use emulation. First, it's just easier. If I want to use the actual hardware, I got to drag it all out, hook it up, get a capture card, and try to figure out a way to stream that into my computer and through this open broadcaster software. It's a lot of hoops to jump through. So it's just easier for me to fire up an emulator and do a screen capture of that. Secondly, it's cheaper. So I mentioned Magic Carousel was $40 to $80. I'm not really interested in spending that just for live streaming. It's a game I want to get eventually. That seems like a cool collector's item. But you know, if you guys want to do something really hard to find, or something that's expensive, you know, I still want to do that for this, and emulation is a way we can accomplish that, which leads into seeing more variety. So I have a decent collection of video games. I don't have a Wonder Swan, I don't have a Neo Geo, you know, I don't have FM Towns Marty or anything like that, at least not yet. So emulation gives me a chance to, you know, select from the entire pantheon of retro games and pick something I want to play. So, and just for the record, I do have Atari 2600s in my collection, accessories and games, and this is a picture of some of that. I actually own a copy of E.T. as well. Not a terribly rare game, pretty easy to come by. Lots of copies out there that you can pick up at your local game store. So, if you're still not satisfied, then I suggest you turn off a Twitch stream and go make your own, or you can just deal with it. And before I get started with E.T., hopefully you guys have seen this documentary. It's on Netflix. It's called Atari Game Over. And it's a documentary about the sort of the history of Atari, interviews with a lot of the developers and people who were part of those early days of Atari. And it also centers around the quest to find those E.T. cartridges that were rumored to be, you know, buried out in a landfill in the desert. It's a great documentary, quirky, funny. It has George R.R. Martin driving a DeLorean for no good reason. So check it out, watch it. It's a great documentary. If you're interested in Atari 2600, some more, I'd recommend this book to you as well, Racing the Beam. It's a very technical book about some of the dealing with some of the hardware constraints and designs the Atari 2600 it was sort of a oddly designed home console system, designed in such a way to make it affordable to build and sell, but difficult to program on. So for instance, the Atari 2600 has 128 bytes of RAM. That's bytes. You couldn't fit an entire tweet into the Atari's RAM. So it's a great book. Check it out, just to see some of the cool stuff they're able to pull off with that ancient hardware. So with that in mind, that's all the slides I'm going to force you to watch today. And now I'm going to play E.T. live for about an hour, or until something else, until the internet connection goes down, or I fall asleep or something. Like I said, I'm playing on the emulator just to make things easier. And you know, I did some research for this game before I started playing for this live broadcast. So you might actually be surprised. This game has a little bit of playability, a little bit of depth to it. So let's get started with it here. So there's actually 3 game modes for E.T. There's 1, 2, and 3. 3 is the easiest. This is where you don't have the doctor and the FBI man after you. In game mode 1, they're both after you. And in game mode 2, bring it up here hopefully. In game mode 2, it's just the doctor who's after you. So I'm going to start with game mode 3, the easiest. So the point of this game is you're E.T., you're stranded here on Earth, and what you need to do is try to build your phone home, and get your alien friends to come rescue you. This is a Reese's Pieces right here. You can collect these and you can give them to Elliot, and he'll help you get pieces of your phone. One other thing you need to know about this game is the little icon at the top of the screen. The Atari had one button, so you had to get pretty creative if you wanted to do multiple different actions with that one button. So right now, as you walk across the screen, you can get in different zones, and each of those zones has an icon at the top there. And if you push the fire button when you're in one of those zones, you'll do a certain action. So in this case, The up arrow means I'm going to teleport one screen up to the next part of the world. And earlier, you might have seen it. I was stepping over a question mark zone, which might have gone away now. A question mark zone will actually highlight for you if there's a piece of your phone in any one of these pits. Yes, the notorious pits from ET. So there's my first phone part. So at the top screen there, I have part of a phone. And now I'll get myself out of the pit and keep going. Now at the bottom you can see the little numbers there. That represents my energy. If you remember in the movie, E.T. sort of loses his energy in his life as it goes on in the game. Same thing, or in the movie, and the same thing is true in the game. So now I have 2 Reese's Pieces, and I can warp to the right screen now if I wanted to, but I'm going to keep going left, see what's over there. I can also run fast. Okay, here's another zone here. It's a little person yelling. This is the call for Elliot action. You can actually get Elliot to come and get you, and he will take your Reese's Pieces. If you have 9 of them, he will actually give you a phone piece. So I'm back to where I started here. So there's another zone up there. This is the landing target zone. Once I have my phone, I come back here, I call home, and I win the game. So the point of this game is to just sort of wander around until you can find, I'm not sure what that one does. I don't know what that one does. The point of the game is to wander around until you can find all the pieces of your phone, and then you phone home. This game is much, much easier when you don't have the doctor and the FBI man coming after you. Okay, now here's an interesting screen in the game. Part of the world is these 3 buildings here. One of them is FBI headquarters or something. One of them is the doctor's headquarters. And the bottom one is Elliot's house. And they're all on the same screen, which is sort of preposterous. This icon up here, you can see it's the same columns design as the buildings. If you're over this, you can actually send the doctor or the FBI man back to their headquarters. So it'll stop chasing you, at least briefly. More Reese's Pieces. I'm up to 5 now. It's, you could just walk into pits randomly if you wanted to. Hope there's a phone piece in there. I prefer to just walk around until I see a question mark, or until I get 9 Reese's Pieces. So there, I hit the question mark. None of those pits lit up, so none of my phone pieces are in there. There's only a total of 6 different screens in the whole game, and I haven't quite got the hang of how they're arranged yet. So I just sort of wander around. Oh, I probably should call Elliot and get a piece of the phone. See, I can't even get that because I'm all up to 9 pieces. Sure could use a question mark. Oh, I just did a little warp. Do another one here. Call Elliot. Here he comes. He's going to take my Reese's Pieces, and he gives me there he goes. He gives me another phone piece. So there you go. So now I have 2 phone pieces, and I can just keep walking around doing this. Oh, I fell in a pit accidentally, so I got to climb out of that pit and hopefully not fall back in. 2 Reese's Pieces. No phone pieces on this screen. 3 Reese's Pieces. Oh, nothing there. Nothing there. Oops. Don't need to call Elliot now. He can take my pieces anytime. I want to. It gives me, I believe, some more points. This is back in an age where points in video games actually mattered. People actually cared about points. Let me just bring up the old chat here. See if anyone's in the room yet. Haven't really been monitoring it. Nope. Looks like no. No one really cares about ET, at least not on a Sunday night. Well, let's just fall in a pit, see if there's anything in there. When you fall in a pit, you'd lose some energy as well. So it's best not to go into a pit, unless you know for sure that there's a phone piece in it. Oh, another pit. What is this? What does this one do? I don't even know what that one does. Looks like a little egg. Maybe that's the phone home button. Nope, no pieces there. No pieces there. Where are those darn pieces at? Maybe there's one in here. I don't think I've been to this one yet. At least not been in any of these pits. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now we've got my telephone. Oh. That's one of the problems with this game is sometimes when you get out of the pit, you go right back in. So here I am. I have the phone. Maybe I need to go one of those. Come on, phone home. It's not working. Did I miss something here? I'm ready to go home now. Oh boy. I've forgotten something. There's only 3 pieces, I think. Am I missing a piece? I'm about to lose energy here. Oh, okay. Okay, now I know. That button, that icon is eat a Reese's Pieces. Okay. That's not the phone home icon. This gets Elliot to come after me, I believe. Here he comes. Takes my Reese's Pieces. Fine. Come on, let's go. ET phone home. Oh boy. Well, I might have to look this up. I got a online. I don't have an actual manual for ET. All I have is the cart. I looked up the manual online. So I'm gonna have to refer back to that to figure out what to do here. All right. So let's do a brief pause here for the ET 2600 manual. Get this from AtariAge.com. I don't know if they transcribe this or what. Let's see, eat candy zone, call Elliot, call ship zone. That's right, there is a call ship. That I remember now. It kind of looked like a Space Invaders icon. I remember seeing that somewhere. Don't think it's going to happen. I run out of energy first. Low on energy. E.T. You can do it, E.T. You can do it. Find that little... Oh boy. I think it's going to be it for our hero. Oh no. He turns white, just like in the movie. I'm not sure what Elliot just did there. Guess he gave me some help. Oh boy. Yeah, see, this is one of those things that people cite. They talk about this game being bad. Is sort of this pit trap that happens every once in a while. Oh, it's killing me right now. Maybe I'll try going down, if I can even make it out. Okay. I'm still gonna die. What's gonna happen if I die but not in a pit? Seems that I only get 1500 energy, it brings me back, but... Where did I see that stupid ship icon? Oh boy. How far along are we now? I think only about 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes in. I'm already a little bit bored of this game. But of course we have the exciting Doctor and FBI Man variants to get to. Elliot's favorite striped shirt. Oh, I guess that's game over for me. I can sort of dance him around a little bit. Alright. Try to make a note of where that ship icon is when I see it. Right into the pit. There's a phone piece. Alright. There's another phone piece. Oh, I'm burning through them now. Nope, nothing there. Into the pit. So, interesting bit of trivia about this game is that they paid a lot of money for the license for this ET license, and because they had a deadline for it, which I think was, I mean, we're talking years after the movie. So it's not like they had a release deadline like they do with a licensed game nowadays. But they had a deadline, which I believe was to hit in time for Christmas. So the programmer for this game had, I think, 6 weeks to build this game. And if you've read Racing the Beam, the book that I suggested earlier, you could see how they'd be very unreasonable. And this game might look very, very simple, something you could throw together. And oh, there's my great. There's the landing spot. Darn it. Run out of time to get that landing. Oh, there it is. I'll have to get here and then wait for the timer to go down. Don't exactly remember. Oh, I think I blew it. Might have to consult that manual again. Okay, call the ship zone. Clock, right? We saw the clock. It'll count down. He cannot call a ship when a human is present. Okay, fine, fine. Must be on the landing zone to be rescued. Okay. I guess that's it. I just blew it, I think. Okay, well, let's try it again. Right into the pit. Still on my telephone. Where was that? Oh, I can. It's a neat little just Easter egg in the game, which is again quite astounding when you consider the limitations of the 2600 and the deadline that the programmer was on. And by programmer, I think it was, if you watch the documentary, I think it was literally one guy doing all of this: the music, the graphics, the controls, the programming, everything, with less memory than a single tweet. E.T. can, when he falls into a certain pit, there's a flower in there, and you can go to the flower, hit the fire button, and make the flower, come back to life. Whoops. And that this sort of a completely gratuitous feature of the game. And oh, I gotta get out of the flower zone. But it's a nice little touch, because it elevates E.T. to a little more than just a standard arcade game with a license slapped on it. It shows that the programmer took some time to really think about E.T. and to really try to distill what the character was about, what the game's about. And again, we're talking 1982. I think he was developing this. 128 bytes of RAM and a 6-week constraint. So I just find that a nice little positive thing to say about this game. I just find that landing zone again. So it's just, I think it's somewhat unfair to, and this is the point made in the documentary and by many others besides myself. I just happen to agree with them. It's kind of unfair to pin the whole video game crash of the early 80s on a single game. I could point to a dozen other games that were absolute garbage, that were just simply cash-ins or just really weak efforts, games that have no business being a game, that probably represent the reasons why video games, were doing badly at that period of time. So many companies went bankrupt, and video games sort of temporarily fell out of favor. But E.T.'s not a great game, but I think once you know the context, you got to admit that it's a pretty good effort, and not just a cheap cash-in like the A-Team game or Kool-Aid Man, or the absolutely lackluster Pac-Man games for the 2600. Which, by the way, Pac-Man, the single best-selling game for 2600 of all time. Man, I'm completely terrible. I think the landing zone is different every time. I'm not sure if it's randomly picked or what. Oh, there it is. There's the... Okay. There's the clock. Okay, I'm in the landing zone. Do I have to do anything else? This is probably much harder on games 1 and 2 when you have humans chasing after you. And if humans are on the screen, the ship will not land or will take off. You know, just like in the movie, they're trying not to be discovered. So, I don't know, this is the second countdown. They got me, and I escaped. Now we can see my final score tally. So that's the entirety of ET, is put your phone together, call the mothership, go away in the mothership. So that's the easiest one, is game 3. So let's go ahead and try it on the second easiest one. There's a doctor in play, and he will chase after you. So you have to do the same thing, but just under the duress of being captured by the doctor. And the normal constraints of energy, managing your time, trying to find all the right zones. Wait, no, that's the FBI guy. Am I wrong about game 2? Is it the FBI guy that gets you? No, I think I can send him back if I do this. Yeah. So that's helpful. There he is at his headquarters. Right by Elliot's house, of course. Won't you leave me alone? Right into the pits. Where's the rest of my phone? Need that speaking cell. Alright, let's see if we can get away from the FBI man. Still need one more piece of the telephone. Might be able to rely on Elliot for it. Elliot. Oh, he can't get me in the pit, I don't think. I have a question, is he still going to come get me? So, when I give Elliot the Reese's Pieces, it acts as kind of a container. Kind of an inventory. I can give him a lot of them. Where are you, Elliot? Calling you. So I can only have 9 at a time. I give them to Elliot. It's sort of like storing them for later at the end of the game when the score actually is tallied. So I'll just send him away. So, and again, these are all kind of just constraints on this overall design of the system. You know, there's one button and a joystick. That's all you can really count on. Come on, Elliot, get out of here. Go get my phone. Elliot has failed. He took my Reese's Pieces and didn't give me my phone piece. Darn it, Elliot. I was counting on you. Did I have another piece of phone taken away? There we go. Now I got 2 pieces. I must have had another piece taken away by the FBI man. Look at me, copper. Oh, he got it. Darn it. Still need another piece. So, if you're wondering about the name, I called it tentatively MSTCX, based on 2 of my favorite shows. First is Mystery Science Theater, of course. That's the MST part. If you've not heard of it, it's a show where the premise of the show is that this guy is shot into space and forced to watch movies, generally bad movies, in a convoluted plan to take over the world by showing people the worst movie ever made, etc. But basically, the conceit is that he's watching these movies because he has to. And it's a great show. You should check it out. It was on Comedy Central and Sci-Fi. It's canceled now. But it's still, the same guys still do the same thing today. They just do it under the name Riff Tracks. And they have a live show coming up this Thursday. You should check it out. Then I got the telephone. Oh, here's a flower. Just because I can. Anyway, the CX part is based on a Japanese show called Game Center CX, which is somewhat similar in its premise. That this guy, office worker, sort of, you know, salary man, his job is to come in and challenge these games, play them all the way to completion. And you know, in both cases, Mystery Science Theater and Game Center, you know, they tell a lot of jokes along the way, and do sketches, and the like. I gotta find that. Oh, you jerk! You doomed me, you know that. You know, they have fun with it along the way. They make jokes and have, you know, sketches and whatnot. So, you know, I thought did I call Elliot? I don't remember calling him. I must have. I had the 9 pieces. It'd be nice if you brought me a phone before I die. So anyway, that's just sort of the premise that I'm going along with. It's not terribly original, but the idea is you guys pick a game, I'll play it. Whether it's a good game, hard game, bad game, as long as it's a retro game. Oh my goodness. There's no way to win this. There's I can call my ship right there. So it is a different place each time. Oh, when did I start this debacle, huh? I guess I should have put up a timer. You know what? I'm just gonna stay on Earth. It's not so bad. So I think I'm getting the idea that there's basically 4 screens that I can explore. And there's like the landing, like forest area, and there's the FBI headquarters / Elliot's neighborhood. So really, it's just those 4 places that I can go, and I'm dead. This is the end of the game. Let me just do a little... Okay, so I'm about 42 minutes into the broadcast, and I spent about 5-ish minutes on the slides. So that gives me, it's about 43 minutes into the broadcast, so I'm about 38 minutes into the gameplay, so I'm about 12 minutes out of finishing. So, let's keep going. Alright, so now I'm into the exploration area. There's my phone piece. 1 down, 2 to go. Eat it, copper. Whoop, what happened there? Trying to get my phone. Not gonna happen. Okay. Whoops, keep warping here. Right into the pits. 2 phone pieces. Ooh, look at that. The old misdirection. Where's that? There it is. Back you go. Nothing there. Was that a ship though down here? Nope, that was just called Elliot. You know, it'd be nice if the zones were highlighted or something like that. It might be helpful, but that might make the game a little too easy, I guess. I have my 9 pieces. Let's get Elliot over here. Elliot. On my speak and spell. Yes, you're so great because you just walk over pits. Back you go. Well, there's the calling the ship zone. So it's the 4 diamonds near the bottom right diamond. Good to remember. There's Elliot. bring me my phone piece? No! Oh. Really could use that phone piece now. Nothing here. Oops. I know the ship is right there. Call the ship. Oh no. No, 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 no. Elliot. Yes. No. Alright, just gotta call the ship. All I got. Get out of this pit. That's all I gotta do. There's the diamonds. Call the ship. There's a landing zone. There's that guy. No! Do I still need the phone to get away? I already called them. Seems like the phone served its purpose. Victory! What's my score? It was like 13,000 last time, right? Pretty weak score. Do a little ET dance. What's your deal, Elliot? You just gonna walk around? Notice another cool thing about this. Elliot's walking behind the house and then in front of the house. That's, you know, again, check out Racing the Beam. That's a pretty cool thing to pull off in 6 weeks. It's worth doing an ET dance. Alright. Let's ramp it up. Game number 1. Come on. Okay. Both trying to get me. The doctor won't take my phone piece though. So he's not so bad. Just sends me back to the, you know, the hospital or whatever. And I think one of these guys takes my Reese's Pieces too. Not sure why or who. Oh, well, look at me. I stumbled into a pit with a phone in it. That's always good. Beat it, Doc. Beat it, you mug. Alien, come through here. Oh, there's my phone home spot. It was back in the... Ah! Let go of me, Doc. I can see it coming. Right into the pit. You ever take me alive? Nothing there. I really made very good use of the little warp arrows. Away with you. Oh, darn it. I'm trying to get this guy to go away. 2 pieces. Nothing there. Just a pit. Oh no! You phone stealing jerk! Doctor! Elliot, help me out here. Please, Elliot. Two phone pieces. One phone piece. Take a little snack break there. So I guess only one human per screen because FBI agent's over here. The doctor took right off. He seems to be stuck. Maybe I can... I don't think Elliot's going to come as long as the FBI agent's here. Maybe he'll come now. No! There he is. Alright, Elliot, what do you got for me? Great, thanks. So if I remember, somewhere around here is the call your ship, but I still need one more piece. Go away. There it is. Okay, let's see if we can pull this off. Oh boy, that guy is right where I want to be. And I'm almost out of life. Scram, doctor. Alright, well here I am. Can't call home with you guys being jerks. And dead. Still on my telephone. Oh, darn it! E.T. is all out of bubble gum. Another piece of my phone gone. Anything better to do, FBI, besides taking aliens, speak and spell? Alright, let's go, doctor. Jeez Louise. One phone piece left. Two phone pieces. Hardly any energy. Only 3 Reese's Pieces. This fell into a pit. Doctor wants a piece of me still. Is that it? Nope, one more chance. broadcast, that is. Well, I have my telephone, but no energy. And no more telephone. I'll just die here in the forest, lonely, tired, afraid, dancing, breakdancing, perhaps, as I'm laying down. Score 10,000, so got that going for me. I think the best I did was 13,000. And it's just a little difficult to actually finish the game on the the default difficulty. So if you want to try this game, play around with it, I'd recommend switching to difficulty 3, which is going to be the easiest one. No FBI, no doctor, and just sort of think of it like not so much a adventure game as it is kind of like a board game, really, with time constraints. Is that you have to go around and collect the pieces in order to call home, and then you have to go to the landing spot to actually get picked up. So if you look at it like a board game, it's really the kind of game it is. It's not an adventure game in the sort of the Monkey Island or the Legend of Zelda sense. And just important to keep the context in mind of this game, when it was made, what the constraints were, and to just not look upon it with such disdain. Obviously, it's not the Casablanca of games, but it's also not the Plan 9 from Outer Space of games either. And there you have it. So that's the first episode of MSTCX, or whatever I can think of a better name for it. I'm going to post another poll here soon. It'll have at least Battletoads and Magic Carousel on it. It will not have Kool-Aid Man. It will not have E.T. on it anymore. So if you want to nominate something, I'd recommend that you go to Twitter and just tweet it at me, mgroves, and just your suggestion of a game. Try to keep it retro, 16-bit, 8-bit, that sort of thing. Any system is fine, really. Like I said, with emulation, we can do pretty much anything you want within reason. And that's it. So I will post this to YouTube if you want to watch later.